in that court. Tumelo Madala's cross-examination in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial has been postponed. Defense lawyer T.T. Tobane began grilling him on whether there was blood on the floor when they rushed the late Senzo Meyiwa's body to hospital. Our reporter Slindelo Masikane is following those proceedings, and she joins us now live to give us an update on what we heard this morning. So proceedings, of course, ending early today because Advocate Mshololo is not well, Slee. But what did we hear just before this adjournment?
Well, we were in the middle of cross-examination by T.T. Tobane for accused 1 to 4, where he was posing questions with regards to docket 375. That's the second docket in this matter that painted a completely different picture in terms of what happened. And Tobane is putting it to Tumelo Madala that there were never any intruders in the house, and that the hat that allegedly belongs to one of the two intruders actually belonged to him. Let's take a listen.
I'm hearing
that for the first time. That hat doesn't belong to me. I wasn't wearing a hat when I arrived here. Even if I do wear a hat, but those ones, I don't wear them.
So what did the defense say, Slee, about the crime scene itself?
Well, for most of cross-examination, in particular with the two police officers that gave evidence first, that's Sergeant Thabo Mosia, the forensic officer, as well as Sergeant Patrick Ntetwa, we've been getting a sense from the cross-examination that a lot went wrong before police could actually arrive. In fact, there are allegations and witness statements that reveal that the crime scene was actually cleaned before police could arrive, which possibly is a reason as to why there is no blood in the kitchen where Meyiwa was taken out of, in terms of him, in terms of those who were in the house trying to, they say, save his life. The only blood that is in the house are blood splatters on the walls and some on the floor, in fact, found in between the sofa as well as the TV stand. So what Tobane was then posing to Madlala was why doesn't he find it peculiar, especially being one of those who was in the house, that when he returned there wasn't any blood on the floor. Let's take a listen.
Blood that I saw was in the dining room. There's no other blood that I saw.
So you're saying that when you were taking our hero from where you said he was sitting to the car through the kitchen door, no blood went to the floor?
Ingabe uthi ukusuka la namthatha khona naseniphuma naye ke nimkhipha la ekitchen alikho nje igazi elathonzizela phansi?
Angisho ukuthi alika ngilibonanga because igazi lokuqala ngalibona mangiya kuyena usenzo lapho phansi ama spot nyane igazi.
I'm not saying that there wasn't blood, but I didn't see it. The blood that I saw was when I went to Senzo, and then that's where I saw blood next to where he was lying.
I put it to you that you are seeing is selective as well, just like your selective amnesia. How do you see the hockey stick? How do you see the crash, the head, but you don't see the blood?
And of course, Lee, we saw the defense also touching again on the Netflix documentary, money paid, etc. Tell us more about that.
So that's where we ended, and that is possibly where we're going to resume in November when cross-examination continues. But we ended off with questioning around payment for Tumelo Madala's feature in that 1010 film production that produced a Netflix documentary around Meyiwa's passing. And we were at a point where Tobane had actually asked him, so how much were you paid? And the state then objecting to this line of questioning, saying that it wasn't relevant. But Tobane, of course, pushing that he needs to respond. And I think they want to kind of, paint a picture of someone, in terms of Tumelo Madala's credibility and testimony in court, as somebody who can't really be trusted because he'll say anything really to get a paycheck. Let's take a listen.
fonele Durban nginazo incwadi abangisayinisa zona cause bangitshela before ukuthi uNetflix awukhipha imali for ukuthi uinterview umuntu ngabatshela ngathi isikhali sami lesi enzobe ningwestela sona and ithombe zami niyidingayo manje ngafuni yekelani then babuyela back ababenganginike mhlawumbe ukuthi kanjani nginazo neincwadi engabangisayinisa zona I think it's similar.
I think there are documents in Umlazi. I'll have to contact someone back home and to get the documentation where I had signed because upon them contacting me, they told me that Netflix doesn't pay you for having an interview with you. And then I said to them, the pictures are mine, it is my spare time. So if you don't want to, just leave it like that. So I think the documents are still there back home.